What's going on, guys? It's Lady B. We've got ATN in another close matchup, but coming off that big loss, were they able to power through, or is it another defeat? Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a recap. We're going to walk through these attacks. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to live stream this war, but I have not seen what's gone on. But I do know that it was a very intense, close match, and we're going to have to wait and see what happened in this war. Now, ATN coming off a pretty devastating loss earlier this week against L.A.S.I.E. Their first loss in ESL Meisterschaft. They were 6-0. Now they're 6-1, but the question is, are they able to pull through to 7-1 coming out of this 8th match against Dark Unicorns? Now, if you remember correctly, Dark Unicorns were a worthy opponent that nearly took them down in a previously close match. We're talking about a couple of percent away from a possible turnaround in the war. Were they able to get that final inch through and pull in the win, or did ATN claim victory? Only one way to find out. Let's dive in and take a look. We have L.A.S.I.E back. We didn't see him in the last matchup. He was replaced by Sir Ironheart. So exciting to see him starting off this lineup and actually coming in with one of our favorite attack strategies that he does, and that is the hybrid. Now we notice he starts off with this Yeti to get the queen funneled up. And this is interesting because we see the queen working with Lassie today. I like this little switch up here. We have been seeing the queen working quite a bit with the unicorn and the mighty yak. But in this case, he brings Lassie to the rescue to help her work through. Now, Lassie does die out pretty quickly here, but the queen is able to continue on. Nice use of these loons coming in to help pick up possible traps along the way. And look at this one through the rage. Is it enough to get to that scatter shot and get it down? Not quite, but it does help also lure those clan castle troops, get them right there to the queen, and take a little bit of damage to the scatter shot. We've got the rage drop down, Freeze holding off the scatter because we need to keep the queen alive and moving. She's barreling her way through that scatter shot, working pretty efficiently and effectively despite having that ground bow targeted on her, and it is looking rather lovely. But look at this. We've got the drop of the miners, which we need to use to force this queen back into the inside of the base to take on that multi-chamber, and with the 2 additional super wall breakers that he has, that's exactly what he's using. Rages that queen up, double duty, gets that wall breaker in there just a little bit faster, so the queen's in the core, keeping the shape up navigation of this raid through and through. But notice the king actually crossed over. We had the king on the outside edge of the base with a mighty yak and cuts over inside the base, but it does now come into play as he barrels his way through the wall with a P.E.K.K.A. into that 9 o'clock quadrant, forcing the hybrid down into the eagle chamber. Nice reinforcement and addition of these hogs coming out of the clan castle troops, which look at them go. We've got them on the outskirt edge of the base as the miners from this hybrid still continue to work their way through. This is a lovely effort all through and through together, with the queen still alive on this one, just raging through that ability. But it's the Royal Champ seeking shield to ensure that the job gets done and this base gets taken down. Now, with L.A.S.I.E hitting a home run, let's see if Shazo can get up to pressure here with having to pull in a 3-star. Dark Unicorns did keep it close in their first matchup against ATN in ESL Meisterschaft this season, so I'm curious to see how close they can keep it today, knowing this is a very tight match. We've got the Blizzard to start this one off, and holy value, Batman, we're getting into that scatter shot chamber, reaching straight across the wall, exactly what you want to see. But this is shaping up for a good chunk of this base, and look at that Royal Champ go down. So I would say exactly everything that Shazo hoped for in getting that done. Now the queen is placed up top. We do have the unicorn combination, and we are going to see the healers working through as well. So we will have this unicorn charge type option coming in, and the king working with the yak to help keep the queen pretty much centralized and funneled so she can force her way through. I noticed that we do have another super wall breaker to come in to give this queen a little bit deeper access. Now the king with the yak barreling his way through, but it's the Royal Champ that comes in to snipe out this air defense, which is huge. And this is a good time saver because there is a lot going on. We do have the lure of the clan castle troops, so actually a great combination to have the king moving his way across. And oh my goodness, I didn't even see the jump here. Who needs a wall breaker when you can bring a jump and you have the yak? barreling through this wall. Nice combination. So far, getting that queen through. The king is down for the count, but it's up to the queen to actually get inside the space. We want to take on the multi-chamber, where we know we would also see a lot of the traps through and through, plus the air sweepers are in there. So this is a lot of value, but a lot of time invested so far in this queen charge. But he knows this, and he starts his Lalo as he knows his queen is safely working her way through and hanging on to that ability. And look at the damage coming in from all those ground bows. Queen is going to be forced to use this ability to get through it. It doesn't affect the loons, but she's cleared out the path needed, and the loons have a straight push past the town hall. Warden ability just popped here, getting them safely past and through, and there's nothing on the back end to worry about. Just a matter of cleanup and time to get it done, but with the spread of the minions that he's got down and around, I would say this is looking pretty solid. Just swagging away that super wall breaker there, but gets a nice open path for that sneaky goblin to get into and take down that gold mine. Queen is still working all day long. Man, he kept that queen going through and through, and I am impressed considering how lengthy that charge started. But Shazo definitely knocking this one out of the park for Dark Unicorns and going head to head. So both teams now 3-3 on the board. Okay, it's A.S.S.I.E's turn to try and keep the momentum moving along. Now, I don't know how this defeat is going to play in the minds of alternate attacks coming into these wars. It's either going to make them or break them, might motivate them to push harder. But we have A.S.S.I.E coming in, sailing this blimp through. We get to see another Blizzard Lalo coming in play. Knocks it down again to take on the Scattershot Chamber, but we can see the builder trying to quickly keep that up and alive, but not enough against these super wizards. Look at the combination that we're using here. Look at this compartment that we're looking to take out. The defending queen, the defending RC, the scattershot. That is nice value in the position that he came in to eliminate that, and of course sets a tone of where we're going to see the hero dive coming through and through. And this time we do not have a charge, no healers for the queen, but the power of the yak, the unicorn combination with the king and queen, and we've got an ice golem to do some tanking, and the royal champ to boot, to back up, helping take down that eagle is huge. Open walls in the base, and he already sectioned it off, is going to lead the queen through into the multi-chambers. I like the position that he's coming in because you don't want to deal with that many multis when you're coming in with your Lalo. So he is picking up some nice value along the way. The king just raging up that ability, and we still have the royal champ and queen. Though a bit tough here with the RC going into tangles with the hound, but she does manage to take down the Grand Warden Tower. My goodness, we're at 48% with just the heroes alone. There's virtually no base left to go on this one. Royal Champ going days, and I gotta say, I am impressed. She single-handedly, because she took down that water tower, was able to take down the hound, and that leaves the queen here to boot. Look at the royal champ. She is a tryhard going for that scatter shot as well, but the queen snipes it out, and that gives just so much more length and life to this Lalo push, which is just taking on the town hall compartment. Nearly 60% of the base taken down with this opener. And look at these loons force their way through. I mean, there would be almost nothing stopping this one except the consideration of time, because again, we talked about the time consuming queen charge, but man, that was a lengthy opener and very well worth it from what he picked up. Haste helps sweep these loons through, so it isn't an issue of time. And of course, he's got the pups and minions down and ready for the cleanup. Queen trying to make her way to help, but gets hung up by the skellies, and it's not going to make much of a difference here as the loons and minions swarm for the final structure to take down Holy Overkill Batman. A.S.S.I.E coming in and dropping another 3-star for ATN. This is what I'm talking about. Is this make it or break it? Are they motivated? It's looking good so far, but let's see what the unicorns have in store in their next hit. So with Eve Timo up to bat, we've got more Lalo action, and Eve Timo bringing us in with a queen charge Lalo, and it looks like I don't see any invisibility spells, so it looks like we're going for the Yeti blimp to take on this multi-chamber where we have the air defense and we've got a queen. So he invests a rage to drop it down and get as much value as possible. We also get the clan castle lore with this. So again, really nice value in what these guys are thinking about with the use of their blimps. And think about this, because we have all these pets to come along and help the heroes with their pushes in. and we're just seeing incredible value with these Blizzard and Yeti blimp openers just from the start. So I expect that we're going to see some heroes powering it through on this one. Again, we've got the combination of the unicorn with the queen, the king with the yak, which seems to be a pretty safe bet for most of these raids, particularly when you're doing Lalos as well. Even though we have a little bit of overlap with the unicorn and the healers, we still see it quite a bit in use. And I think that's because of the combination of using the yak and the king and knowing that you want your owl with your warden. And I like Lassie with my royal champion. I don't know about you. So speaking of, we've got the royal champ working together alongside of the queen, helping to navigate the queen path into that scattered shot chamber, and the king just working his way along with the yak to take on this multi-chamber. I mean, talk about the quick thinking, the quick timing, getting all of this working through. This is a beautiful demonstration of getting your heroes working together. Queen makes her way through the course, takes on the scatter shot, and again, we're left with a base with nothing much for the loons to actually work their way through. This yak and king are still going into the town hall chamber. Are you kidding me? Now the yak struggling a little bit against that builder hut, and the scatter shot finds the opportunity to knock him out, but I mean, man, that could have felt like it was going to go the distance to take on the town hall. But the queen, just hanging on alive and well, still has her ability to get through the king. We've got that safe, easy push past the town hall with the warden ability off early. And it's just that scatter shot we've got to worry about. But 2 frees is surely enough to hold it off. And the multi on the back end, though, I suspect this queen should have enough power to make her way through and get in. A haste, though, helps push these loons along, trying to find its way in. Does drop that final freeze to hold off the air defense and the multi. Smart, because those 2 combinations can quickly pick off these loons, as you can see here, quickly dying around to it. Is it enough for them to get it down? The warden comes in with the assist of the Electro Owl to snipe it out, and it's up to the air defense. Minions and pups actually getting some nice benefit out of that haste. Sweep them through quickly to finish taking this on, and while we have a landlocked queen, it's not going to matter because the pups and minions and that OP headhunter to the finish here, and Teemo picking up the 3-star. Man, this is just as close as we had seen in that first matchup to come, but can they keep this momentum moving along as the attacks progress? So we do have Sir Iron now in the lineup. We saw him playing earlier this week as well in place of Linnaid, so we'll wait and see who Sir Iron is going to be replacing today and filling in for. But quickly dropping down that Zap Quake combination, we take out a nice chunk of the outer perimeter, and this is going to help for the Super Witches. We actually did see Sir Iron coming in with a beautiful Super Witch attack in the earlier match this week, the one that unfortunately ATN did lose against in ESL Meisterschaft to Nolex. Let's see if there's going to be a different result today, though things are really heating up here. Now we've got the queen and the warden combination working together, which is going to help speed things along quite a bit, which when you're working with Super Witches, let's be honest, you kind of need to do. Now we get a nice push coming in. We've got the siege barracks down on the outside. Looks like the king's going to cut over. He does come back around and work on the outside, which is exactly where you want to see him. You want a lot of cleanup value out of him. And with these style attacks, especially if you have the yak, I like the combination. I think he powers his way through nicely. Pekkas have a good start coming in. And we've got a bit of a sticky path to the town hall. Things hung up, but managing to make their way through and finally getting past. It's once they get past this big bump, this big hurdle into the core, where you really see it navigating. But the one good thing for Sir Iron right now is that he is hanging on to this queen ability and hanging on to the royal champ. That ability you want to kind of use towards the back end, and I see we do have an eagle to worry about, so that is going to be keyed. No singles though, so that's going to be helpful for him possibly. Witch is still working along. We have the queen who's stepping up to the plate right in the center of the base, and it's a royal champ launching the Seeking Shield with the assist of Lassie helping to quickly navigate through. And again, the fact that there's all these multis here, I think really plays into the royal champ's favor to help knock this one through. We've got the Super Witches coming around the outside of the perimeter and the royal champ helping to finish it off. Look at those Valks coming out. Those Valks coming out of the clan castle. Nice combination there because it can really speed up the cleanup. And again, Super Witches, you need to be mindful of the time. OP position here with the archer and the minion on the storage that would certainly save a huge chunk of time had that come down to the wire. And it looks like it came pretty close. But Sir Iron always thinking one step ahead and having that backup plan for cleanup, which secures his 3-star in this one. So keeping it heated up, let's see what Dark Unicorns have for us. Dark Unicorns have been doing incredible so far, really keeping this alive. And I like me a good war. I like a good close match. Even for my boys at ATN, I like to see them under pressure. Let's see what Ixalis has in store, because he is one of Dark Unicorn's strongest hitters, though. Dark Unicorns has really been growing solid as a team, and all of their players are absolutely phenomenal. Now we've got Ixalis coming in with pretty common right now in meta. And we saw this really take down ATN hardly against L.A.S.I.E. And that's the Inferno Drag attacks. 3 out of 5 of L.A.S.I.E.'s attacks that they won with were the Inferno Drag attacks. Nice use of the E-Drag to start setting up the funnel. We've got the Inferno Drags pushing through. We do have the King who started off. No Queen down and set in place yet to push the path. But this is looking like a wide go as we get that blimp into the Town Hall. And the Inferno Drags maybe not sectioned off as much as we would like to see. They are spread really thin here, and I think that could pose a huge problem, though. Let's see how the heroes handle it, because a good chunk still remain with a Warden up towards that 1030 side of the base. Now the Yak assisting the Queen. Look at this. This would be huge, opening up that wall, working in to get to the scatter shot as the King cleans up. But these Inferno Drags, super susceptible to those multi-targeting Infernos, and that picks them off one by one. I think the question is going to be, is it enough out of the heroes to finish a job here? We have a full health Queen who still has her ability. We've got the freeze, we've got the Skelly spell, but we haven't gotten the Clan Castle troops out yet, so the Queen has to contend with this. We get the Royal Champion to try and help, launches that Seeking Shield, but it's not enough to keep her alive and get any more value. And we still have a single targeting Inferno to worry about here. 13 seconds left, and this Queen not only landlocked, but no spells to hold off the single or the ground bows that are going to target her. And with this, we get to see the first defense coming in for ATN. And I bet that they're breathing a big sigh of relief, especially after seeing those Inferno Drags, which again, L.A.S.I.E. was doing wonders with. So 80%, we're going to see if that's going to be enough to keep Dark Unicorns in this, if they can find a slip up from ATN. Okay, we've got Yo-Yo in what I call the cursed 4th position, because we know from the World's warm-ups that the hit rates that came out is actually showing that the 4th position is always like the spot that seems to have the lowest hit rate, and not contributing to the player necessarily, but to the plans that they have and the way that they want to execute their plans, the timing, and how comfortable they are with their startups and finishes and finishing up their planning in some of these shorter format wars. So let's see what Yo-Yo has in store. But we do see him switching it up, because we've got some hybrid action coming through. Now notice the Queen didn't make her way into that scattershot chamber, so he quickly adjusts. We've got the reach down, we've got the loons, and I'm sorry, maybe not adjust. He knew that he needed to do this and move along to take on the scattershot chamber, because we would see the healers at risk of being knocked out, and it would do in this entire Queen charge plan. Now with the Queen set up and lined up, we've got her exactly where we want to go. And my goodness, that 3 o'clock chamber taken down with all those loons. Very nice work out of that. Just need to power through the CC and a nice use of the minions to help quickly speed this along. But in order to get this Queen path inside the base, we need to start the hybrid so she doesn't stray too far. Plus, we got to worry about time a little bit. King on the outskirts with the Yak, a nice push along, especially with the power of the siege barracks to get some additional value cleaning up, and also open up position for additional hogs to come in as a reinforcement. Now the hybrid moves along, but the Queen's struggling here. We did have the use of the headhunter that helped take down that the King quickly, but oh, the Queen dies out, and she doesn't make her way into the core where we have the multi-targeting Inferno. that is going to be difficult. Now, when we have multi-targeting infernos with hybrids, you wind up in a sticky situation, but particularly if it's inside the base and pulling things out of formation or it gets left to the very end, it could be a quick pick off. And my goodness, there are a ton of traps inside, even the healers suffering the damage coming through from the traps, from the defenses, and not enough to give extra life to the hybrid. Oh, and more traps on the back end. Even though we have these additional hogs, they get taken down by the bomb. Giant bomb on the back end here, and the Royal Champ trying to find her way through, launching off that Seeking Shield. But we have the King and a Dream. Is there enough to power this one along? Forces that ability, rages him up. But we've got this long-range ground bow that is picking things apart, taking down the Royal Champ. Can the King survive? Skelly Traps holding this off, not giving enough for Yo-Yo to try and finish this one through. We've got the Archer trying to take care of the cleanup, but without a good solid tank and something to actually reach over those walls, there is not enough to get the job done here. And unfortunately, with that, we're going to see a defense coming in for the Dark Unicorns. Yo-Yo picking up a 2-star here for ATN, but 87% could keep them in it as long as we get that final 3-star in. But the pressure all comes down to, let's see what Dark Unicorns have in store if they can try and keep that pressure on for ATN to possibly have to throw down another 3-star. So Simon coming into this one, trying to take down Yo-Yo. Looks like he wants to add a little bit of insult to injury to see if he can keep some pressure on. But we do know that the Dark Unicorns are down on percent slightly. So they would not only need to 3-star here, but see another defense. Let's see if it can start off with a 3-star for Simon. Now we've got the Lalo coming in. We've got a nice Hero Dive Lalo. Only one invisibility spell, so I suspect this might be used for the Royal Champion to come through. Again, we get to see this pretty common combination of the King and Yak, Queen, and the Unicorn for the Hero Dive Sui opener to come through. And I like it. I think this is an epic combination which provides great amount of value. Royal Champ indeed coming in to pick off that multi-targeting Inferno with the invisibility spell, because we've got a lot of surrounding damage. That Expo you can see doing a lot of dirty work, but the Royal Champ trying to fight her way through this one. And we've got the blimp starting straight through for the Town Hall as the Queen still hangs on to her ability at the 3 o'clock chamber. I got to say how impressed I am at how fast-paced some of these openers are starting to feel. I don't know if you notice that they seem to be coming down quicker, even more quicker than we had seen in like Town Hall 13. A lot less time to think about what you have to do and a lot more action required. That Town Hall goes down swift, and we've got the Queen still hanging on to the ability as Simon brings his Lalo through and through. And oh my goodness, are you seeing this? Bats coming in the core to take on that scatter shot where the Queen couldn't reach. The core is what we always worry about for pathing of the loons, but the Queen even, actually, excuse me, she can reach it. Forces her way through that wall. The bats give a little distraction, do some damage, enough so that the Queen can actually take that down with her final blow. Archer's trying to help, the loons trying to push their way through, and we've still got them swarming on the outsides. The Wizard Towers, the air defenses, and the Archer Towers are a huge threat, but the way they've split off and with the assist from the Warden, these loons actually make it through. Plus, we still have this Hound tanking, and they make their way, take down the final Tesla in the core of the base. I mean, this seems very unorthodox, but this is looking like Simon's crazy plan is paying off. Minions on the outside taking care of the cleanup, and he's got a ton of loons left all day to finish up this raid. Wow, Simon, maybe rewriting things a little bit here and there, and I like it. So the Dark Unicorns are hungry for a win against ATN. They're looking to capitalize off of ATN's most recent loss and see if they can do them over again. But let's see how ATN responds in their final hit. It's make it or break it time. 3-star or go home. Vala coming in with dragons again, which I'm excited to see. We saw Vala do earlier this week the dragon attack, which I don't get to see as much from him since Zapquake Log Launcher Lalo has been huge, he seems to rely a lot on that. So really nice seeing him shifting back to dragons because I do love his clean drag hits. Now we've got the Zapquake combination that came down swiftly, taking on an air sweeper and helping section off a good chunk of this base as well. We do have his 2 scatters to worry about, and we're getting our opener in here on the Eagle. So we're eliminating a huge threat that we don't have to worry about with for the dragons at the tail end of the raid here. King Queen combination to actually take on that entire chamber alone, and the Royal Champ just a little bit further down south, actually sectioning off this entire path of the base where she takes on the scatter shot. So now the only 2 big key remaining things to worry about are the scatter shot and the town hall on 2 opposite sides. I noticed though he's got a siege barracks. I'm wondering if he's going to switch that up. Very interesting concept, but we've got so much value still left with our king and queen. King's got the ability, who might need to rage it first, but the queen's full health and still has her ability. So we've got the dragons working through as the king and queen continue to take on that scatter shot in the back end. Dragon straight to the town hall. The warden can help keep them safely past this. And yes, we do switch up to the stone slammer here, which should help flank as we get through to that single targeting inferno. Oh, invisibility spell coming down, sneaky, sneaky to keep this queen alive and hanging on to her ability as the dragons work their way through. And again, I love the use of the stone slammer here because we're coming into that single chamber, which does a lot of damage to the dragon, single targeting infernos. So a nice combination to get the stone slammer to tank and the freeze actually to help hold it off. This gives the dragons every bit of life that they need to come in and maybe finish a job here. I would say with a stone slammer that hasn't even opened. Do we even know if there's troops in it this time? Vala, though, coming in and bringing home the 3-star. This is exactly what ATN needed to come through. Now, let's see how the Dark Unicorns finish it off. We know it's not going to be enough percent for them to get the win, but man, they have been fighting hard, and they definitely deserve this credit on the last attack. So let's take a quick look. So our final attacker to come in for the Dark Unicorns is Gabrielle. And Gabrielle's also been doing a lot of great work for the Unicorns team, one of the newer members to come to the team. And he has been quickly making a name for himself for them. Now, we've got him coming in with the Lalo. Looks like we're going with the Yeti Blimp. Gets the rage down. And I like, again, the rage combination because we're looking to take on the scatter, but we also have the heroes there. We've got the Royal Champion that we want to take down. So it ensures that it gets that entire value, taking that on. Plus, we get the lure of the clan castle troops, which is huge. I like that you can really see the thought process in this, in every bit of value that they want to get out of this. So when you're looking to do these types of attacks at home, just think about when you're seeing these raids, all those little components. It's not just taking on a chamber, it's how much more you can get out. Can you get the clan castle pull so your queen can take it on in a nice little pocketed corner where she's not taking on too much damage? Yes, we have the ground bow on her, but that's about it. Not enough to do her in. Nice use of the baby dragon to help start shaping up this funnel, especially because we've got the storages to worry about. So it quickly starts cleaning those up along as she works her way inside the space. And we've got 2 more super wall breakers and a jump. This queen charge might go for days. So we've got the jump down now that the queen's set and in line exactly where Gabrielle wants to see her. And these wall breakers, these super wall breakers used actually to get the king into that flanking scattershot compartment here. Very symmetrical base. And I like the way that he's using both the queen charge and the king push to actually take on this entire chunk of the base. But look at the queen go. Another rage comes down to keep her healthy and through. We do have those healers getting quickly picked off by that multi-targeting inferno, but it's a royal champ that helps sneak in to try and move this along quicker. Queen has already burned through this ability, but with the royal champ, it's enough to just get into the core, and the healers actually stay alive in this one. Can she pick on the rest of the multi-targeting infernos? My goodness, it looks like yes, she can. We've got the Lalo path, super narrow, coming through straight to the town hall. But this queen ain't done yet. She's going strong. We've got the tornado trap that actually holds up the queen, but not enough before she takes down the round bows. And Warden coming through with those loons, getting over the town hall here. Nice, quick sweep push through. And wow, I mean, like the value that we're seeing with these hero dives, with these queen charges is absolutely exceptional. Queen's still alive in the core, but it's up to balloons to finish off everything. And what he navigated, the super, super narrow path that we got to see, is absolutely incredible. But I think this is showing the power of these pets and how crazy they are when you use the right combinations. But again, I got to say how absolutely impressed I am with the the speed of the hero pushes and the coordination that everyone's going through. And this war certainly has not disappointed. Now, I know unfortunately for the Dark Unicorns, winding up with coming again 14-14 against ATN and just coming shy on the percent overall. It's got to be devastating, but you got to give it to them because through and through all of these attacks from both sides, absolutely impressive. So a 7% difference again, unfortunately, keeping the Unicorns away from seeking victory against ATN. But it's a tough one. I'm happy to see my ATN guys getting their win and getting back on the horse after that first loss. I mean, it happens to the best of them. It happens to the greats, but the Dark Unicorns are definitely showing that they are a force to be reckoned with, and I hope to see more of them coming through in ESL Meisterschaft as the rest of the weeks progress. We've got a lot more matches to come, so make sure that you're staying tuned to my Twitch page where I do stream these wars live, and don't forget to check out my Discord server where we've got free weekly drops of base links courtesy of Blueprint Base Building, where we've got some of the best base builders around, including some of our guys from ATN. That's about it for now. Until next time, this is Lady V. I'll catch you guys later.